Here's something nobody tells shy guys about talking to women. You think you need perfect lines, clever jokes, zero awkward silence. Wrong. The guys who are best with women, they don't chase comfort. They're comfortable without needing it. That's the rule everyone else breaks. I'm going to show you exactly what that means, plus the 3 conversation tactics that make women think about you for days after you talk. By the end, you'll know how to turn any conversation into genuine attraction, even if small talk makes you sweat. Everything I'm sharing works whether you're texting, talking at a party, or on a date. Let's start with the things shy guys get wrong from the very first word. Most guys think they need to make women comfortable right away. They smile constantly, agree with everything, try to be safe and friendly. But here's what actually happens inside her mind. When you act too eager too fast, her brain puts you in the friend category immediately. You're nice, you're safe, you're forgettable. So what should you do instead? Be calm and grounded, not dismissive, just not trying to impress her. Here's what that looks like in real life. She says something, you pause. You lean back instead of leaning in. You respond, but you don't chase the topic or over-explain. Example, she says, I work in marketing. Most guys say, oh, cool, what kind of marketing? That must be interesting. I've always thought about getting into that. You say, marketing, huh? Bet that keeps you busy. Then you shift gears. Notice what just happened? You acknowledged what she said, but you didn't interview her or seek her approval. You stayed relaxed. This does something powerful. It flips the normal script. Now she's wondering if you're interested. That tension makes her more interested. Here's another example. She asks, what do you do for fun? Most guys give their whole life story. Well, I like hiking and I go to the gym and I'm really into cooking lately. You say, I do exciting stuff. Probably nothing you can handle. Then you grin. She'll laugh. She'll push back. She'll want to prove you wrong. That's the goal. Stay light, stay playful, keep her curious. But here's where most shy guys panic. They worry this comes off as rude. It's not, as long as you're smiling, relaxed, and reading her energy. If she looks uncomfortable or pulls back, you adjust. Confidence is awareness, not pushing through resistance, which brings us to something even more important. Here's the shift that changes everything. Most shy guys either go silent or over-explain when they finally talk. Both kill attraction. The fix? 70% of your conversation should focus on her. Only 30% on you. But not in an interview way. That's just as bad. You're not asking, what's your job? Where are you from? What are your hobbies? That's boring. That's what everyone asks. Instead, you're making observations. You're teasing. You're guessing wrong on purpose. Here's the difference. Instead of, what do? You say, let me guess. You're either a teacher or you work with kids somehow. She'll react. She'll correct you. She'll tell you what she actually does. Now she's talking about herself, but you led the conversation. You're not chasing information. You're creating a vibe. Instead of, where are you from? You say, you've got that East Coast energy. She'll laugh and tell you where she's actually from. See how that works? You're still learning about her, but you're doing it in a way that's playful. It shows you're paying attention without trying too hard. Here's the next level. When she tells you something about herself, don't validate it immediately. Just notice it. She says, I'm studying psychology. Most guys, wow, that's so cool. That must be really interesting. You. Of course you are. You seem like the type who overanalyzes everything. You're observant. You're calm. You're not impressed just because she exists. That's what creates real tension and interest. Quick thing, if this is helping, hit like and subscribe so more guys see it. All right, back to this. Now, here's where things get tricky, because most guys who learn this stuff start acting like robots. You've probably heard you should be mysterious. So guys refuse to answer basic questions. They act cold. They think that's attractive, and it's not. That's just weird and off-putting. Real mystery isn't about hiding who you are. It's about revealing yourself in a way that makes her want more. Here's the difference. Bad mystery. She asks, what do? You say, I can't tell you that yet. Good mystery. She asks, what do? You say, I solve problems, usually ones I created. Then you grin. See that? You answered. But you made it interesting. You gave her just enough to be curious without dumping your whole resume. She asks, are you seeing anyone? You say, not since breakfast, unless you count my neighbor's cat. You're answering, but in a way that makes her smile, makes her want to keep talking. Here's another move. Volunteer weird details she didn't ask for. I'm terrible at cooking. Last week I somehow burned cereal. My car hates me. It only breaks down on important days. These little confessions do two powerful things. One, they make you human, relatable, not trying to be perfect. Two, they give her something to react to, something to tease you about. That creates connection. But here's what actually makes you mysterious. It's not what you say, is that you're comfortable disagreeing with her. When she says something you don't agree with, you don't fake agreement. You playfully push back. She says, I hate action movies. Bad response, oh yeah, me too, even though you love them. Good response, what? Action movies are peak cinema. You probably think rom-coms are deep. She'll defend herself. She'll argue. She'll laugh. That's attraction building right there. Because you just showed her you're not trying to agree with everything she says. You're your own person. That's what mysterious actually means. However, and this is important, you're reading her the whole time. If she seems genuinely upset or uncomfortable, you adjust. You're confident, not clueless. Which brings us to the most powerful move of all. Here's the most powerful thing you can do in any conversation with a woman. Be willing to walk away first. Not in a rude way. Not to play games. But because you value your time and you're not desperate to make something happen right now. When the conversation hits a natural pause, you exit. Hey, I gotta run. This was fun, though. Then you leave. Most guys stay too long. They linger. They hope something magical will happen if they just keep talking. But attraction doesn't work that way. Attraction builds when she wants more but doesn't get it yet. Think about the last time you talked to someone really interesting. What made them stick in your mind? Probably the fact that you didn't get their whole story in one conversation. You wanted more. You create that same feeling. Talk for 10 minutes. Make her laugh. Learn something real about her. Then exit while it's still good. I should get back to my friends, but hey, you seem cool. We should continue this. Then you get her number or Instagram, and you leave. Here's what happens in her mind after. She thinks about the conversation, and she wonders what you're doing. She checks her phone to see if you texted. You've created space for attraction to grow. Now here's the part most guys mess up. When you text her later, don't text immediately. Wait a few hours. Or the next day. Not to play games, but because you actually have a life and you're not sitting around obsessing over one conversation. When you do text, reference something specific you talked about. So, did you analyze me after I left? Psychology major and all? This does three things at once. Shows you remember details. Shows you're playful. Opens the conversation naturally. From there, keep the same energy. Short texts, playful tone. Leading somewhere specific. Let's grab coffee Tuesday, 3 p.m., that place on Main Street. Notice that's not a question in it. You're suggesting, you're leading. She can say yes or suggest another time, but you're taking initiative. This is what women mean when they say they want a guy who takes charge. They don't want you to be controlling. They want you to have a plan so they don't have to guess what's happening. All right, here's your complete action plan. Next time you talk to a woman, remember these three core moves. 1. Stay calm and grounded. Don't chase validation or try to impress. Let the conversation breathe. 2. Make it 70% about her, but in a playful way. Observations and teases, not interviews. 3. Exit first. Leave her wanting more instead of staying until the vibe dies. Do these three things and you'll notice something shift immediately. Women will respond differently. They'll text back faster. They'll actually want to see you again. Not because you used tricks, but because you showed up as someone who's comfortable with himself, genuinely interested in her, but not desperate for her approval. Remember what we said at the beginning? The best guys don't chase comfort. They're comfortable without needing it. That's the entire game. Not perfect lines, not being the smoothest guy in the room, just being genuinely confident enough to be yourself. Walk away when it's time and let attraction happen naturally. Thanks for watching, and until next time.